So my bedtime, or you could say my self-imposed bedtime, it's usually 10 p.m. because I wake up so early for work recently. I'm working a couple of jobs and I'm building a business myself. I have lots to do. Last night, I was up until 4 a.m. reading Volume 2 and 3 of Oblivion Song by Robert Kirkman. The art by Lorenzo Del Felice, colors by Annalisa Leone. I knew that I might butcher those names. It's very possible. This book's amazing. I am going to be talking about Chapter 1 today, and I'm only going to be talking about the content from the very first issue. This collects issues number 1 through 6 in this one chapter. It's called Chapter 1, $9.99 by Image Comics. Let me say that. Go get it at your local comic shop. This is expert storytelling at its finest. Everything matters. The stakes are high. The characters are developed. They have goals. Their plight is important. What they do matters to them, and how they change in the storyline matters. It matters completely. What happens in the story reflects their character arc. Robert Kirkman is an expert storyteller, so let me just get into a little bit of the plot, tell you why you need to buy this. 10 years ago, 300,000 people, they were sucked into another dimension called Oblivion, where the world is an apocalyptic wasteland, and monsters, they hunt for humans, they destroy, everything looks grotesque, and the government, they've given up looking for these people that disappeared, but one man, Nathan, won't give up. He's looking for all of these lives lost, but mostly, he's looking for his brother. He's looking for his brother that was lost on that one day. And just like all of those other people, that one day, it's been come to known as the transference. And not only were those people sucked through that portal into that other dimension, but hellish, demon-like creatures were transported into our dimension. I absolutely love this. Just kind of flipping through this very first issue, at the very front of it, this is absolutely what you would consider to be a silent comic. There's no words, and the pictures, the art, the colors, they are the storytelling elements from the very beginning. That is powerful, in my opinion. Beautiful art. It shows a couple running away from these creatures, and it shows a man with a sniper rifle, and he shoots these darts at these people, and they disappear. This is a dilapidated, apocalyptic jungle of a city, and you're given the idea that we absolutely are in a different dimension, and that's absolutely the case. The whole very first, and I'm talking 6, 7, 8, 9 pages are completely silent until we finally get a little bit more of the storytelling elements. I'm telling you, there are so many things I love about this book. This is an action-packed thriller. It's an apocalyptic monster story. It's sci-fi to its core. But just like you expect from Robert Kirkman, if you've read any of his other stuff, this is an intense character drama. All the characters, they're distinct. And what they do, it always pushes the story forward. So many people know Kirkman is a great creator, so to speak, because, he's actually so well known for creating The Walking Dead. But here's the thing. He was the writer of The Walking Dead. So, from my mind, he's one of the greatest writers of our time. He knows how to get emotions stirring. He knows how to hook readers into a story, This first graphic novel, this volume 1 of Oblivion Song, like I said, it contains the first 6 issues. And a lot happens in specifically this emotional scene. And when I say this emotional scene, a lot happens in your own mind. Pictures tell stories, And that's what you can come to expect from this book. So much of it's silent, and it switches back and forth between that silent storytelling and then the words that are said from these characters that really reflect times of your own life when you've had these same emotions that these characters are having, these same difficult situations. This man obsessed with this one notion and about to lose the woman he loves because of his own obsession. It's fantastic. It's good character-driven drama. So this one scene, like I was saying, it's beautiful. The whole world, they've abandoned hope of finding those lost in this hellish landscape of Oblivion. They've even erected a huge monument of the lives that were lost on that day. But Nathan, he still uses his technology to travel to this other dimension. Every single person that he rescues, he takes a hammer and a chisel to this monument, and he scratches their names off to show the world that these people can be saved. He's obsessed, and like I said, it's on the brink of costing him his relationship. We'll later discover why he's so obsessed, and I'm telling you, it all happens in the very first chapter of this book. In the very first 6 issues. Like I was saying, it's only $9.99 by Image Comics. Go by your local comic shop and pick it up. It's such a great build-up and a story. And it all revolves around that monument, around him being obsessed. His character is driven by an event that you find out occurred at the very end of this first chapter. It's fantastic storytelling. I tell you, this art is masterful, and it's the expressive nature on the faces of these characters. I will say this, the coloring from Leone, my goodness, what I love so much about this it's so different, the way that it reflects the distinct difference between our world and that hellish landscape of Oblivion. They're so different, and the colors show it, I will say this. This is what I love about this book. There's a few things I love about this book. Once and Future was a really good book that I have been reading by Kieran Gillen. The colorist is Tamara Bonvillain, and her work is so different. It reminds me of these colors by Annalisa Leone. Hope I'm not mispronouncing that. Beautiful color work. Very iridescent. It just shines, and it shows a very different style, and I love it. I'll tell you that. Okay, overall, this is beyond a recommend for me. When it comes down to it, this book, I'm telling you, I only slept 4 hours last night because I could not put this down. So, needless to say, yes, if you are sleeping on this book, wake up and buy Volume 1 by Image Comics at your local comic shop. In all seriousness, though, this is the best comic book I've read all year. I'm telling you, that's a fact. I'm reading at a faster pace than I ever was in the past 6 months or so. And I'd say it's because of this book. I can only imagine that when I pick something else up, I'll be like, oh, this is okay. I will say this. So I like Kirkman's work. I've read a couple volumes of The Walking Dead now, and I like it. I remember exactly. It's very... the show does a good job of reflecting his storytelling. I think his storytelling is better than the person that put that show together of The Walking Dead. I'll say that. And so if that doesn't inspire you to get this book, I don't know what would, because The Walking Dead's a pretty damn good show. I did just read Kirkman's Firepower, issue 1 and 2 that just came out last week. God, it was good, but it does not match Oblivion's song yet. I'll just say that. So if I had to guess, I'll have to say it. This book will stand the test of time as one of the greatest sci-fi stories ever. And I'll say this. I'll put money on this. I bet that this is a TV series or a movie in the next couple years. I'll give it 2 years. And I'll say absolutely, this is going to be a hit TV show or a movie. That is absolutely a fact. Look, how many of y'all have read this? Why are you not reading this if you haven't? My buddy Ash over at the channel Ash on Comics, he suggested this to me. He's got a channel as well. I'm actually going to leave that up in the I don't know, the right hand corner. I don't know what that's called. I'm gonna put a link to his channel so you can hopefully subscribe and hear his storytelling. He does these live streams, and he actually tells you the stories of a lot of comics. It's pretty cool, but it's usually past my bedtime. I am an old man in my 30s. So tell me what you think. Are you reading Oblivion Song? If you aren't, like myself, just 6 months ago, what is wrong with you? What was wrong with me when I wasn't reading this book? I've got to catch up. I can't wait to see the conclusion of all of this. It's fantastic. You won't be sorry when it comes down to it. Like I said, and I know I've said this over and over, get into your local comic shop, pick volume 1 up, chapter 1 of Oblivion Song by Image Comics. It is only $9.99 for 6 issues. You're saving a lot by picking up this graphic novel. You are the gateway into comics.